Welcome to Knockhill Racing Circuit for the Classic Sports and Saloons Championship. It's race 1 of the day. Over to you, Duncan, for the commentary.
Thank you very much, Fiona, Wallace. Yes, over to the commentary box here where the Classic Sports and Saloon car guys are coming in for their warm-up lap. And, well, at the front, yep, we've got a bit of a war going on at the front here. These two guys have been at the front for, well, I'm going to say the most of the season, but round one anyway. Bapty and Boyd with Bruce Mitchell and John Kinmond, Ian Crehan, Kieran Bailey, William Conway, Mario Ferrari, Longstaff and Kinmond, and Duncan O'Neill as well. This will be quite interesting, this race here. You can see the grid on our screen right now for the Scottish Classic Saloons and Sports Car Championship. Who's going to take this race? Well, Bapty is the man in pole position, but we know very fast starting Raymond Boyd in that smoky Porsche, which is a bit strange. We're not normally used to seeing smoke coming at the back of Raymond Boyd's car, but they're down towards the hairpin already for the first time of asking, and Boydie has got the jump, that's for sure, as they make their way in towards the hairpin. John Kinmond trying to go in the outside of Alistair Bapty, and Alistair Bapty getting it's almost like Dick Dastardly there coming at the back of Raymond's car, with smoke on the off throttle in that Porsche number 49 car. But here we go, heading towards Clark Corner. It is Raymond Boyd from Alistair Bapty, John Kinmond, Kieran Bailey goes towards the apex and he's gated him, but John Kinmond cuts that off, with Ian Crehan having a look at the side of Bruce Mitchell as well. As they go just out of our sight, they come pick them back up at the chicane. Now that's strange, there's an awful lot of smoke coming out of that car, and that is not something that we are used to seeing with Raymond Boyd. Not the greatest, so let's see how that goes through the course of the race. Let's hope that doesn't start to affect the car in any way, shape or form and its performance, as we now make our way back up from the lowest point of the circuit, which is Butcher's, climb all the way to the crest of the hill, then it's down towards the hairpin, and Boyd covers the inside line. We go on board with Alistair Bapty, and this is what the inside of an MGB GT V8 car looks like, and it's pretty bare and pretty basic, isn't it? But that's what race cars are very much like. As we head towards Clark Corner, I'm expecting lap records to tumble in this one. The fastest lap record held by, let me have a look down here, let me have a little look. Is that Andrew Graham? Yes, it is Andrew Graham, the man that holds the lap record, and that's a 59.266. I expect that to tumble in these races. Look at these guys throwing these cars through the chicane. A lot of courage to do that in one of these old cars, and Bapty definitely quicker than Boyd through that part. Then we get to the straight, and Boyd looks a little bit quicker here as we come onto the main straight. Great onboard camera. Look at Bapty, he's going to go around the outside of him on the main straight here. Boyd just gives him enough racing room. That's a nice bit of respect there. Raymond Boyd could have wiped Bapty's nose off there and made Bapty lift at the gas as he headed towards that pit entrance, but thankfully Raymond, a gentleman racer at heart, gives him just enough room, not too much room, but just enough room, as Bruce Mitchell now under attack from Kieran Bailey. And look at Ian Crehan in that little Mazda MX-5, tries to go underneath Bailey through the hairpin in the Lotus 7 SE and the S3. He does Crehan, a man on a bit of a mission here. Ian Crehan in the C-Class car, his little MX-5, as we see John Kinmond just going out of view. John very much in the big E-Class car. The bigger the engine, the further up the scale and the letters you go. As Bapty, oh, that's Mario Ferrari, and he's going to come back on. No, Longstaff thankfully had his wits well and truly about him there, and never mind that, we're now back with Bapty, who's well and truly in the slipstream. Bapty's going to try the inside this time, come to the hairpin. Boyd covers that. Bapty's going to try and go around the outside. Let's listen to this on the down change. Nice controlled down change. Bapty crosses his arms through the apex. Can he get on the power? Yes, he can. Does it go sideways? Yes, unfortunately. And that is just going to hurt his exit as Crehan in towards the hairpin launches an assault at Bruce Mitchell. Bruce sees it coming at the last minute and decides, discretion definitely the better part. He doesn't want to be replacing body panels on the side of that number 57 Lotus Europa TC, the B-Class car. As we come towards Clark Corner, is this John Kinmond that we are on board with there? As we pick up, hang on a minute, one of my favourite cars is William Conway in his Austin Mini, the A-Class car, the little baby Mini. When it's wet, that thing does a lot of giant killing, but in the dry conditions, it just runs out of a little bit of puff, but I guarantee that will be good fun to drive around Knockhill. And he is ahead of Michael Longstaff, the recovering Mario Ferrari. Thankfully, Mario Ferrari is definitely recovering, and Andrew Kinmond in the Lotus Esprit going through shot as well. In towards the hairpin come your two leaders. the two guys who are battling out for the championship in the Scottish Classic Saloons and Sports Car Championship for the SMRC here. As we have a little look towards our timing screen, brought to you by Smart Timing, and the Edinburgh Watch Company. Getting a bit tongue-tied in the commentary box as Longstaff now pops into view with a bit of trim hanging off Mario Ferrari's Alpha. So the Alpha Sprint Trofeo, the A-Class car again, and he's battling with Longstaff. Yes, that's a battle for position on the track, but it's also a battle in class. William Conway currently leads the A-Class charge, and he is just ahead of these two guys on the road. So very much a class structure. There's a bit of smoke goes through the apex of Clark there. The marshal's not doing anything as oh, Ferrari goes underneath, outside. What did he do there? He went underneath Longstaff, going through Hislops and then round the outside of him. No, Mario. Once is bad enough of it, twice. And you're almost facing the wrong way. That must be one of the most horrible places to end up on a track. Thankfully, Mario just rolls back off onto the gravel. But that's not been a very successful attempt at overtaking there. And that's two big offs Mario's had. We should expect yellow flags. You can see them in the distance as we went from that long shot. So there'll be no overtaking. Look at the flames flying out the back of Boydie's car. The yellow flag on the inside of the corner there as we come through. It's been withdrawn now as Bapty comes down the back straight. He tries to pop in and out. Mario Ferrari just ahead of Raymond Boyd just now. Bapty seesaws away through the chicane, back up through Butchers. This is the lowest point of the circuit we're at now when we start to climb all the way through. Look at those flames. Very picturesque, like something from the early 80s Le Mans cars flying out the back of Raymond Boyd's car there. That turbocharged Porsche. Onto the main straight he comes, and now it's a charge towards the line. Boyd in control just now, and they go past Mario Ferrari. I'm holding my breath here because Duncan O'Neill on the inside, and Raymond Boyd played that perfectly. Bapty tries to go three wide. He gets a little bit of opposite lock mid-corner there, just as he stepped on the gas and made the back of the car slide out, and he goes to the front. Raymond Boyd in second place. Now, was there contact in that? Was there a little bit of touching there? It's not like the classic guys to do that. Maybe it was just a funny camera angle as they go down through Clark Corner and head towards the chicane. We'll pick them up as we actually come and pick up Andrew Kinmond in the B-Class Lotus Esprit. And don't see many of these cars. It's great to see him in the classics and having fun out there as Ian Crehan. That looks pretty terminal to me. I can't see that car lasting much more. And Ian will hopefully see that in his mirror and retire the car into pits lane, because not only will he be losing valuable fluid from the engine, which the engine needs, but he'll also be spraying that on the track, and that could be a disaster for everybody else. Into the hairpin comes Bapty. Now let's have a look at this car as he goes through. Can't see any battle scars. That's quite a good thing. Raymond Boyd goes through as well. But that three wide shot at the hairpin was pretty exciting, with Raymond just running a little bit too hot past the apex. And yeah, Duncan O'Neill was there in the Ford Fiesta XR2 in his XR class car, and Boyd just left enough room for Bapty to slither through. As we head away from the hairpin with John Kinmond, and we pick back up now with Alistair Bapty. Does he grab a gear there? Oh, he actually did coming through. He's looking too far ahead towards Andrew Kinmond. Look at the closing speed of Bapty as he comes through here. Where's he going to go? He's going to try and go through. Yep, nice bit of respect to the race leader shown by Andrew Kinmond there as Bapty goes over the crest of Duffus. And Bapty's looking pretty handy in this car this year. He's moved it up into the E-Class. It blew up last year, and all he's done is rebuild the engine, and he's shown a fine turn of form here. Great bit of pace, great speed, and the E-Class car, we'll say 4 litre, it's a 3.8 in that car, and it's got a fair bit of steam under the bonnet as he heads towards Clark Corner in front of this nice big crowd that we have here at Knockhill Racing Circuit for the anti-clockwise race meeting in towards Clark's, using a bit of the curb as everybody does there. And yeah, the marshal's now paying attention. That's Grant Humble there, that's the chief grid marshal, having a little bit of a look, because race direction will be concerned that Ian Crehan hasn't retired that car to the pit lane. He's still going round. Yes, it's smoking. Is it dropping? But the thing is, if it's smoking, something is definitely amiss. So the best thing you can do as a driver, save yourself a few shillings, get the car into the pit lane and see if you can repair the car for the next race as John Kinmond comes through. We haven't seen too much of John Kinmond, have we? No. So we see the big SD1 Rover flashing through our shot there. And is Bruce Mitchell catching John Kinmond? That's something we must look at. I think he possibly could be. Through the hairpin goes Alistair Bapty. And Alistair Baptist's fastest lap of the race is a 57.536, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is a new class record for the E-Class in the Classics. But it's also a track record as well, 57.536. Baptiste will be happy with that. He's got a lap record. Lap records, great things to have, but they are there to be broken, and they will be. And trust me, Baptiste's not the only one. He's got a class record in the E-Class, but Bruce Mitchell's got one in B, Ian Crehan's got one in C, and Kieran Bailey has taken one in G. So all these guys upping the pace on the reverse direction formula and enjoying as much of it as they possibly can as we head under a bit of a moody sky towards Clark Corner. I've got to see that pockets of blue, which is nice to see. Edinburgh way in the distance. Unfortunately, the camera not good enough in John Kinman's car to pick up Edinburgh, but Bruce Mitchell, I'll tell you, John Kinman's camera is about to pick up Bruce Mitchell, and Bruce is absolutely flying as Crehan still goes down the back straight. The smoke's subsiding a bit in that, not as much as it was before, but still a slight worry, as through McIntyre's goes the very sideways John Kinman. He climbs up the hill through Leslie's, and he's getting chased hard by this Lotus Europa TC 1800cc of B-Class car driven by Bruce Mitchell. And has he got something left in the locker in that number 57 car to get 63 of John Kinman, the big Rover SD1. SD, what does it stand for? Special Division, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it Special Developments? I'll come back to that one later on. But a great car in the touring car format. This one was run by the TWR team. And in its Triplex sponsorship, it looks absolutely fantastic out there. As Baptiste, with the lights on, is cutting his way through the traffic now as he heads over the crest of the hill. Mario Ferrari, well, once, twice, 3 times a lady. Let's hope that doesn't happen to Mario. They were two rather large offs at Clark Corner, but he did manage to get away with them. Just a little bit of bodywork trailing, which is okay as we come through the twisty part with the rest of the guys now. In towards Duffus Dip for them as we pick back up with the lights ablaze on that MG BGT V8. Michael Longstaff, oh, that was looking a bit wayward through the apex of the corner there, Michael. Very much so. Specialist Division. I'm positive that's right when I see the Rover SD1, and that was a car which was pretty formidable, 3.5 litre V8 engine. And look at that, you can see a line of fluid going around the circuit there. That's a line of slippery fluid, so that must be coming from Crehan. Baptiste dealt with that pretty well, but that's not good. Oil on track as the checkered flag comes out for Baptiste. It's a good win for Alistair Baptiste. He takes a win, he takes a lap record, fastest lap of the race, and maximum points for his class, the E-Class car. Bruce Mitchell slides past through the chicane. Wow! Bruce Mitchell misses half the chicane. He goes past, and that's not really overtaking place, but Bruce Mitchell, whether he missed the brake pedal or just through complete caution to the wind, big whole heap of gusto through the seatbelts in that car, and he went past John Kinman. John Kinman won't be quite sure of what's happened. He's slithering about in oil now. Kinman, does he have enough horses under the bonnet to get Bruce Mitchell towards the line? Boydie's gone through. No, Bruce Mitchell holds on for a fabulous third place from John Kinman, and the smoking, possible oil slicking Ian Crehan comes home. Kieran Bailey, William Conway, Michael Longstaff, Mario Ferrari and Duncan O'Neill rounds out all the runners.
So overall winner, Alistair Baptiste. That was a good race for you, and what a move down at the hairpin.
Did you like it? I can't really remember what happened, to be truthful. But
you overtook about 3 cars?
I think so. I had my shot again, so yeah, probably.
It's probably best that you keep your eyes open.
I'm doing okay so far.
Yeah, you're not leading the championship as well, or?
Yeah, it's early days, yeah, anything go wrong, so yeah, don't want to think about that, just one race at a time, definitely.
Good. Well, what's the plans for race 2?
Same again, please, it'd be nice.
The Scottish Classic Sports and Saloon Car Championship race number 2. We've seen race number 1. It was a cracker. It was Alistair Baptiste, who's the man on pole, winning from Raymond Boyd, with Bruce Mitchell a fabulous dive bomb attack on the last lap with John Kinman at the chicane. Saw Bruce get that car into 3rd place. Here we go. Safety car there on the grid, and the drivers lining up behind that and getting into their grid slots. This is William Conway we're on board with on the track, and little mini, you can see him through the middle of the shot there. The marshal's just making sure everything is in order. The white board is the last board, that's the 5-second board. So now the revs rise, they're already in first gear, the lights appear on the gantry and the bridge. We've got 4, we've got a full complement of lights at Knockhill. Held a long time, lights out, down towards Hairpin we go, and a pretty even start across the front row from Bapty and Boyd. Again, still a smoky Raymond Boyd, and who will get the jump? Boyd is trying to squeeze Bapty. We know Bapty is brave, but Raymond Boyd takes the lead in towards the hairpin, and look at the smoke coming out of Raymond Boyd, and Bapty on the lock stops, going through the hard apex of the corner there. And this is John Kinmond, who is trying to get alongside Bapty as they head towards Clark Corner, but Bapty's just got enough under the hood of that MG BGT V8 as the smoking Raymond Boyd continues on his way down through Clark's and just pulls away from this. This is a great run from Raymond Boyd, a great early lap. He's being aggressive here. Bapty knows he has got a race on. He's going to have to up the ante if he can stay in. Oh, Bapty has a big moment going through Butchers. He's very, very lucky he kept that. We got a grandstand view of that from John Kinmond. Bapty never lost the car, but lost a bit of grip going through Butchers. And before you know it, that was a big wobble going in towards McIntyre's. He's also going to try and slow it down, go down a gear. So very, very tricky stuff for Bapty as Boyd accelerates at the front and gets a bit of a gap now between himself and his nemesis. And just look at the smoke coming out of that. Cough, cough, splutter for Alistair Bapty. Nothing to do with the car, that's inside the car from Raymond Boyd. This does look like something out of Wacky Races or Stop the Pigeon, with the old Dick Dastardly smoke trail coming at the back of that Porsche. It's not harming the performance, but it is harming this car here. Nothing to do with Raymond Boyd. John Kinmond is off the pace and he slows it over SD1 heading towards Clark Corner. Let's have a listen and see if there's anything that we can hear that's gone wrong as we go on board with William Conway. And that line on the steering wheel would completely confuse me. Is that meant to be the middle of the steering wheel or wherever it is? It doesn't matter, but Conway bounces from curb to curb through the chicane and away he goes as onto the main straight comes car number 49, the E-Class Porsche of Raymond Boyd, the 911, the 3-litre Porsche. It's a beautiful car. When you get a chance to look at the paddock, ladies and gentlemen, I would advise it. And this though, this car's heading for the pit lane, isn't it? A disaster for number 63, John Kinmond, in the SD1. In he comes. We'll park that up. And John will be back to fight another day, we can guarantee that. And he will be back at the front. Mario Ferrari is on track, you'll be delighted to know. And it looks like he's managed to patch that car back together and keep the bodywork on it. Now you saw Bapty going through shot there. You can tell Raymond Boyd's still on track because the smoke screen is there as well. Kieran Bailey, Bruce Mitchell, Ian Crehan. Underneath Ferrari goes William Conway, or was he just defending there? As you go on board, we're looking in the rear view mirror. You can see the menacing Mario Ferrari Alpha gaining as we can go in towards the chicane. But William Conway manages to hold off Mario Ferrari only just in the Alpha Sprint Trofeo. And you can see the Little Mini very quick through the twisty part. And it must lose a little bit of time when it gets onto the straight again. I'm keeping my eyes on that rearview mirror. And I'm pretty sure William Conway will be doing the same thing. Meanwhile, the leaders come through the hairpin. The first corner on the circuit. Again, Bapty gets smoked out there. And as we head towards the hairpin, there you see the speed of the Alfa Romeo, the Sprint Trofeo. The A-Class car powers past the little A-Class Mini of William Conway. Through Clark Corner go the two leaders. Bapty will be getting a little bit anxious at this, maybe nauseous as well. See the car, maybe a bit anxious. He wants to get past. Oh, whoa, well done, William Conway. I would say that was a car failure for Mario Ferrari. That was just like somebody pulled the brake on there. So that's a horrible thing as a race driver. The car in front of you just stops. You have to have cat-like reactions, and William Conway jumps out from behind him, darted out and managed to get past. But what a shame. Mario Ferrari looks like he will be retiring because that looked pretty terminal. As the two leaders, boom, boom, over they go in towards the hairpin. We pick up with Michael Longstaff now. Michael Longstaff in the little MG Midget, car number 5, in towards very Border Reavers blue. Now I'm not sure if that's the right one. I'm not sure if I'm right with that, but Michael, I do like the colour of that. Looks very Stuart Thorburn-esque. Into the hairpin, Bailey on the inside, Bruce Mitchell on the outside, and Kieran Bailey gets himself ahead of Bruce Mitchell and manages to hold off Bruce as they head towards Clark Corner. Ian Crehan, the next car on track, and those guys, Bailey's in G, Bruce Mitchell's in B, and Crehan's in C. Michael Longstaff, who we saw before that, is an A-Class car, as is William Conway, who we ride on board with now as we head towards Clark Corner. There goes Duncan O'Neill, number 66, in his Fiesta XR2. The XR2 class, now part of the Classic Sports and Saloon as well. I never thought I would see the day, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't. And look at that, another flame at the back, and this is starting to get a bit hot and close at the front as we head down towards the hairpin. Nice bit of braking. Boyd, he covers the inside. Bapty, well, he's maybe Superman, but he can't go round the outside. Or is he just trying to avoid that smoke screen? Now he almost tries to get alongside on the way out. Look at that, the MG just gets alongside. Raymond Boyd, though, just wipes Alistair Bapty's nose as they head towards Clark's. That's what Raymond didn't do in race 1. He was very gentlemanlike, but that there is a fine racing manoeuvre. Just showed Bapty the edge of the track. Bapty had to lift out of that one. And Raymond Boyd can keep his position in the lead. So race number 1 is done. This is the last race of the day, so Boyd wants to take a victory in this one if he possibly can. As we see Bruce Mitchell now. Why is Bruce Mitchell now behind Ian Crehan? We've obviously missed something there. Ian Crehan was definitely ahead of him on the road there. As the two leaders come through now, they're going to have to lap Duncan O'Neill. And here once again comes Bapty on the main straight. Blue flags are waving. Tight to the pit wall goes Bapty. What has he got in store for us? Nothing, because on the inside is the Porsche. The Porsche holds that line, and unless Boydie runs wide through the apex, Bapty won't be getting it again on the power. You can tell when Raymond Boyd gets on the power. There's a big puff of smoke comes out that car, and this is where Bapty's car is pretty quick. Looks like through the third and into fourth gear phase, Bapty's car just drives a little bit better than Raymond Boyd's. But Boydie heads towards Clark, just positioning himself absolutely superbly in the middle of the road to drive a defensive race. It's going to be Bapty who will have to take the heroic Bruce Mitchell-esque dive to try and get past. And will he bother? Well, I would imagine he possibly will at some point. William Comey, car number 20, the Little Austin Mini. Through he goes. Bit of a lonely race for William, but that car sounds lovely when it's come towards you. As you know, Minis, all you ever really get is gearbox whine from them. A straight cut jackknife 9 times out of 10 it cuts those gears. As we see Longstaff coming through. Watch out, Michael Longstaff, because here they come in towards the hip, and Boyd's going to possibly go past the brakes. And will he try and put Longstaff between himself and Bapty? Longstaff wants nothing to do with this. He stays nice and wide. I don't blame you, Michael. That's the best thing you could have done there, and very gracious towards the two battling guys at the front of the race. Michael Longstaff stays out the way in his MG Midget. The next man is, well, it's the Lotus Esprit, isn't it? The beautiful car of Andrew Kinmond. And Kinmond will see this happening behind him, heading his way. And it is a happening, that's for sure. They go through the chicane. Bapty pretty quick on the chicane entry. As we pick back up with Duncan O'Neill at Clarkson. Kieran Bailey shoots into view. Chased by, Ian Crehan again. Still smoky Crehan. But where's Bruce Mitchell gone? So Bruce Mitchell seems to have disappeared off the back. So we must have missed that. There's Bruce, he's still in the race. But a little bit off the pace, shall we say, in this one. Once again, the spectators and the cameramen following the leaders as they go over the top of Duffus, over the crest of the hill, and into the hip. And there's a massive lock-up from Bapty. That's huge. He's on the grass. Oh, very, very lucky that didn't dig in and pitch Alistair upside down. That was extremely lucky. Just running out of road on the way. And look at the gravel across the apex. But it's not a thing you want to have happen to you. Alistair, unfortunately, puts the car into first gear and gets away from the scene of the crime. But that will have a huge flat spot on those tyres, one would imagine, as he now goes towards Clark Corner. We go on board with William Comey. William, you're about to get a brush in front of that Mini, or a shovel, because there is a whole ton of gravel on the apex of the hairpin. I would imagine the debris flags will be out. The red and yellow striped flag to try and warn the drivers that there's a change of surface. It's almost going onto a loose part of a rally stage. Just through Duffus Dip. Now all on his own at the front comes Raymond Boyd as Boydie heads towards what looks like pretty much a certain victory now. Bapty very lucky to get away with that one. If that car had gone any more sideways into the gravel, it would have dug in. And Bapty now looks like he's slowing, he's in trouble. One would imagine that there's either, well, the car's maybe ingested a bit of gravel, or it has maybe got gravel between the wheel and the tyre. And maybe there's a bit of air coming out one of those tyres. But yeah, you can see the skid marks started very, very far back there on the track. And then Alistair just went off the road. Once you put a wheel on the gravel or a wheel on the grass, there's nothing you can do. You're a passenger. Thankfully, there wasn't any contact with Raymond. And thankfully, the car didn't go in sideways and pitch Alistair upside down. But Bapty is lame. And that means that Kieran Bailey, I would imagine Bruce Mitchell, will have a sight of that in the distance, and Ian Crehan will be watching that as well. Can Crehan hold off Mitchell, and will Bailey get Bapty as well? This race is very much not over yet, as through Duffus Dip comes car number 49, the Porsche 911 of Raymond Boyd. Oh, Ian Crehan with a big lock-up going through the chicane. He went straight on there, didn't he? Yes, he did, and look at the skid mark going through. and Bapty was already behind them. There we've seen the distance. Bruce Mitchell goes past as well. And the next thing we're going to ask is, where's William Conway? Where is the little red Mini? He will be behind Duncan O'Neill's XR2. As Bapty just struggling all the way around. This is so painful as a racing driver to be involved in and to watch, seeing a car that's breaking down on circuit, but Bapty knows he has to keep continuing for points as we come through. Look at them all running very wide through the apex of the corner. Such is the amount of gravel that Bapty's car scooped from the gravel trap and deposited on the apex there. Andrew Kinman comes through in the Esprit, chased by the lovely little Lotus 7 S3 of Kieran Bailey. Kieran, former single-seater racer actually as well in Formula Ford, so finding a nice home in the Classic Sports and Saloon Car Championship. As into the hairpin comes Raymond Boyd. Boyd, you're lucky to get away with that, but again, look at him missing out that gravel over the apex. You can see it strewn across the curb. And Boyd is not slowing down, is he? No. That smoke is a bit of a worry. It'll be a worry for Raymond. And he'll just possibly nurse the car home from here. Searches the lead. He's got a 23 second lead over Kieran Bailey, this man here. And Kieran Bailey in turn has a nice handy good handful of seconds in his pocket. Look at that, Bailey though, tight to the apex. Big moment over that loose gravel. That was something he won't want to do again. Big handful of opposite lock as the last lap board is out for these drivers now. So all Raymond Boyd has to do is one more lap off Knockhill and he will pick up the checkered flag. Here comes Boydie through the top of Duffus. He accelerates up the main straight towards that Beatson's Building Supply Bridge. Across the start line, the finish line's just over the hill, and it's a wave checkered flag for Raymond Boyd. The Porsche 911, the turbocharged 3-litre car in the E-Class, takes the victory. He'll be delighted at that. Oh, Alistair Bapty crawls across the line, but he does salvage what's 6th place at the end of it as we look down the screen. Through come the rest of the guys. Kieran Bailey will get a good second place. Bruce Mitchell and Ian Crehan on the line. Bruce Mitchell gets it on the line. What a comeback from that young go-getter there, Bruce Mitchell, to get 3rd place from Crehan. And look at that, a 10th of a second between those two guys. Bapty, just behind William Conway with Andrew Kinman, Michael Longstaff and Duncan O'Neill rounding out the positions. Couple of lap records as well, one for Ian Crehan in C, and Kieran Bailey takes another lap record in G-Class.
You had your fair share of antics on that last race.
Yeah, we did. We had a very hard fought battle between Alistair and myself and his MG. Thoroughly enjoyed it, but I had to be the best that I've been for I try my hardest at all times, but I had to really, really be careful. We're going at a hell of a pace there, and just that my car's there's got a problem with the car. It's smoking at the moment. I don't know what it is, but I was told that it wouldn't blow up, so we just went for it. So it was good. So I just concentrated what I was doing, made sure that I made the one move, kept my line, and then it's up to everybody else to try and pass me.